Ron from Ronald Rohde Law, and today we're going to be talking about a brand new Series LLC option in Texas. It was just passed in the latest legislative session, and it's called Registered LLC. Let's take a look. So in the latest legislative session, we see a new concept. It's called the Registered Series LLC. There's also something called the Protected Series, and you'll have to file a certificate of registered series in order to form this special type of registered series. Now, the thesis or the reasoning behind passing this was a lot of difficulty on the banking and the regulatory side. People knew that legally it was allowed, but a lot of older bureaucracies needed an additional document issued from the Secretary of State in order to recognize these sub-entities or these new series LLCs. And again, at our law office, we weren't immune either. We had to get on the phone with many of our clients' banks and explain to them the legal basis for forming a new sub-series entity. So they've heard the people and they have passed a new law which does several things, right? It designates the Texas Secretary of State to issue a form to file a certificate of registered series, which now issues a document for each entity. In the past, you had to file a DBA form with the Texas Secretary of State, and that was a DBA that created a new LLC. It wasn't quite the same as a Secretary of State issuance of a recognition of a new sub-entity. So anyway, they've clarified that and they've created a new document. It specifies how it must be wound up as well as terminated. There are naming requirements, registered series or RS, R period, S period. We're going to allow a conversion from protected, which is just the original type of series. So if you're watching this video and you've already formed a quote regular series LLC under the old law, you will still be protected and you're called a protected series even if you didn't file the new form, a registered series. It also allows mergers among protected series and registered series, but those are the two main types of series now in Texas, which again, it has a strong basis. It follows similar what is now law in Delaware, right? So Delaware as a state is very cutting edge for business law, and this is something that they passed to recognize some of the nuances of series LLCs. This is brand new, so it just became effective June 1st, 2022. We're going to take a look at the Texas Secretary of State website online. You're able to submit this. There's a line item for you to click in and follow that. Here you can see on the Secretary of website, they have added a new functionality to reservation formation documents. Down here from this drop down, you typically only had domestic LLC here, foreign LLC, but now they've added this section for registered series. This is a series LLC, which was just effective June 1st. Let's click on it and submit file document. Normally there's a filing type here. It's typically restricted or there will be some choices. It doesn't look like there's any choice, so let's try to hit continue. Unfortunately, we get an error. So while the Texas Secretary of State has started to implement these new changes, we still don't have an actual form or an online process to submit registered series LLC. As a primer, each series can operate as a separate entity. This was the initial genesis, but we ran into a lot of problems with different institutions, title companies, lenders, vendors not recognizing the sub-entity, separate bank accounts. Banks didn't want to open a bank account even though it was lawfully permitted under the original law. So this registered series should allow you, in theory, easier ability to conduct business with your sub-series entities. Again, these are all formed. They have the same level of protection. In particular, they have tried to recognize prior formed series LLCs by calling them protected series. You don't have to do anything different to get the same protections, and there is no legal distinction between the new registered series and the old protected series. So that's important for people not to get too stressed out. Here is the actual text of the law, Subchapter M. I'm not going to go through this, but I will post a link to this legislative record. So if you want to read through it, you're more than welcome to. But this talks about the actual language here: assets protected or registered Series LLC, limitation, general powers. Again, all very consistent with what was previously enacted. What our advice from the law firm is going to be going forward through this registered series. We'll keep you updated. Subscribe to our newsletter if you want to know when those new forms are released, but we will recommend that everybody file a registered series. That's going to create some rules in the naming. That's going to create some different obligations in terms of filing, but it really should be the preferred method is to file as a registered series or protected, and then ordinary series, again, is still the same, but we are going to get the benefits of an LLC, but just with some additional protection as you conduct business with that LLC. All right, so that's it for this short video. Click the link if you guys want more information about filing this registered LLC. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll respond to everything. But smash that like button, and we'll see you next time. Let's see. This was sponsored by Senator Kelly Hancock, Senate Bill 1523. And again, it just kind of run through